Is someone hiding something? Did the Catholic Church remove the second commandment so that they could worship idols and images? No. I've been hearing this more and more lately. According to the theory, the Catholic Church removed the second commandment, bumped everything up a number, and then split the 10th commandment into two different commandments to, get the number back up to 10. So, in order to explain where this theory comes from, let's split the screen here. And we'll start by putting those commandments up as written. Wow. That's a lot of words. Okay, fine. Let's strip it down a little so, we can fit it onto easy to read tablets for, statues and monuments. They'll be easier to remember that way too. We've edited them down a bit, so let's make sure we didn't strip them of their meaning in that process. Okay. Now, you know what? Let's number them. The Bible doesn't really say how many there were, except in a man-made heading at the beginning of a man-made chapter. But once we're done, it looks like there are about 10. That's a nice, easy number to remember. Wait a minute. Something's not right. Those numbers don't line up. The only explanation is that someone is hiding something. Or maybe different people just numbered them differently because, they're not numbered in the Bible. The argument here is that Catholics changed the numbering system because the second commandment, by their way of numbering, says that you shouldn't make a graven image. And they believe that the church does exactly that with our icons and statues. Hey, remember that time we truncated the commandments down so they'd be easier to remember? Okay, fine. Let's strip it down a little so, we can fit it onto easy to read tablets for, statues and monuments. They'll be easier to remember that way too. Let's expand those out again and zoom in a bit on those first few sentences. Oh, look, there's the commandment about graven images. It was under Commandment 1. So we didn't get rid of it, we just numbered it differently. I mean, given the context of all that other text both versions knocked out of there, it makes sense. God doesn't want us making graven images because he is the one and only God. Just like it says up there at the beginning, I, the Lord, am your God. You shall not have other gods besides me. Interesting. So Catholics didn't get rid of the graven images commandment. They just understand that it's part of the first commandment, since having a graven image is an example of what having other gods would look like. So it is actually relevant to the first commandment. But if Catholics didn't knock it out of the commandments, why do they so boldly make graven images? Trick question. They don't. Let's look at that term, graven image. Based on these definitions, which seem to be in agreement, a graven image is an object of worship. This is worshipped about as much as this. They are meant to be reminders of how we should be living our lives. They are to be honored, not worshipped. We honor the commandments. We don't worship them. We honor Mary. We don't worship her. This is no more a God than this. Claiming Catholics removed the second commandment so that they could break it is about as silly as saying Protestants combined the 9th and 10th commandments because they believe goods and wives are equal in value, and your neighbor's wife has the same value as his lawnmower. I mean, it is a really cool lawnmower, but it would be dishonest to make that accusation against combining the 9th and 10th commandments, just as it is dishonest in making the accusation against Catholics for combining what the accusers see as the 1st and 2nd commandments. It's just human-made numbering. What is important is the words. What is important is that we keep all of the commandments, no matter how they're numbered, including the part where we are prohibited from making graven images. But we should especially keep those that Jesus highlighted for us. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. You can't keep that second commandment, the one that is actually listed as the second commandment, if you're making false accusations and bearing false witness against your neighbor Catholics. For those of you that might have done just that because you believed the misinformation that is out there, I know you didn't mean to, and I am so glad you are watching this video. You can love this Catholic neighbor by liking, sharing, and commenting on this video, and then maybe subscribing and clicking that notification bell. Are you still convinced Catholics worship Mary? The truth comes out in this video. Feel free to make fun of me in a pink wig in the comments. I can take it. It's the only wig I have for a costume party I didn't even make. Might as well get some use out of it.